Welcome to the first episode of Off the Top. What I'm going to be doing in this episode is having AI give me a random phrase. I read it once and then I just start talking. It doesn't have to be about the phrase. It doesn't even have to be a word in the phrase, or it could be 100% the phrase. But the point is to read it, forget about it, and let my mind wander. Stay curious. I do much better if I'm in the mindset of curiosity and exploring as opposed to proving and defending. Like if I go into a conversation with a mind that's exploring and staying curious, then it's much better for everyone involved than if I go into it, already rigid with my beliefs and what I'm going to defend and here's what I know. No, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but here's what I know. No, I hear you. I hear. No, instead of that, just like, allow myself to be curious with it. Allow myself to explore the idea. If my initial thought is like, oh, that's stupid, then I'm not going to explore it. But if I hear it and I'm automatically just exploring it, who knows where it'll take me? It might not take me anywhere close to what this person is saying, but because they talk differently than I do and say things differently than I do, it'll trigger my brain to go to different places. And I'd rather find out all the different things I have in my brain and all the information I have than to just spend my time listening to someone going, oh, yeah, whatever. Quit talking so I can tell you what the way it really is. That's not a fun way to live at all. So I started doing this as a way to practice keeping myself in that state of mind, because one thing I learned is that just because you learn something and you really understand it and you're like, okay, I'm free of that, and you really are, there are still those habits. And so even though I know how much happier I am when I'm relaxed and exploring and staying curious as opposed to proving a point or defending, then I'm so relaxed doing that. And I want to be there all the time because it's so much better. So I'm doing this as a way to just get into the habit of it. Because if I try to get into the habit of it just when I'm out and about talking to people, that's not often enough. It'll take way too long to get into that habit. And most of the time I'll forget when I'm talking to somebody. But if I do it at home as much as possible, I'll get into the habit much faster and everything will be beautiful. All right, so let's get to the phrase. I can't remember where where is it? I maybe just have to ask for another one. Okay. The doorbell rang twice. The phrase is the doorbell rang twice. Never ring a doorbell twice. You ring a doorbell once. And if you're going to knock on a door, don't just, just like that. Most of the time, that little, and then the dogs explode. There's a dog in the house. But there's no need to pound on someone's door. And the doorbell, ding dong. Why twice? Don't ring it twice. Wait a while. Maybe they're not home. I'll try one more time. Then you ring it twice. But don't be that person who walks up to someone's house. Oh, don't do that. That's like when things like that happen, your brain is immediately thinking, oh shit, cops are at my door. Someone I love died. Pounding on the door and ring, that's an emergency. Something bad just happened. And when you do that just because you want to see if someone wants to buy a Girl Scout cookie, dude, don't put them through that. Just ding dong. Nice. Relaxed. I have a lot of experience ringing doorbells and knocking on doors. And I'm always aware of how it sounds when I'm at home and someone knocks on the door or ringing the doorbell over and over again. So I'm empathetic to that. I keep my mind on that. Like, what would it be like if I didn't really go that far into it when I do that. I'm just saying, don't be annoying and don't make people think there's an emergency when all you want them to do is buy some Thin Mints or tell them about Jesus or whatever you're there for. Probably roofing. A lot of roofers out there, man. Everyone wants to put a new roof on your house. What else is there? there's a lot of really that's it. I think of, like door to door churches, roofers, and occasionally, but only once a year, Girl Scout cookies. I really never expected to be someone selling cookies, though. That used to be a big thing when I was growing up. When I was in high school, you know, it was very common. Kids ringing your doorbell. Oh my God, there's Johnny selling candy. Oh my God, there's Melissa selling cookies. Oh my God, there's Billy selling popcorn. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, is that Frank selling encyclopedias? Everyone was selling something, man. A lot of door to door stuff going on. Online helps that a lot, not to have that happen. But I remember that was just a normal thing. Kids selling you magazines and anything you could think of. There was always a guy coming through the street too selling steaks. I never felt comfortable with that one. It's like, you're in this creepy white van selling me steaks. Something's off. It just doesn't feel right to me. I'm not even going to ask you what you're charging for them, because I'm not going to buy a steak from the creepy white van. I mean, you're talking about, we're in the 80s. Vans were still out there creepy as hell in the 80s. You don't really see that real creepy van anymore, that particular style. You don't really see that anymore. But it was all over the place in the 70s and 80s. It was everywhere. And they were creepy. I had to walk by one of those vans when I was a kid, walking to school every day. And this house and this van was so creepy. It was so dark that as I would approach the van, I would start getting this feeling of dread in my stomach that was really difficult to deal with. And then I'd get these chills up and down my spine as I walk right next to the van. I swear to God, that guy was just waiting to kidnap me. I mean, that's every warning signal my body had to put out. It was doing that. Every freaking day I had to deal with that crap. And he was that classic guy too, man. The dirty jeans and the big, long, scraggly beard and hair it's still long and it's just kind of thinning, and he's got those glasses on and he's always kind of adjusting. Oh my God, I hated walking by that van. So it's no wonder. It's no wonder that when someone would come through the neighborhood in a white van asking if I wanted a steak, there's no wonder I was like, fuck you. I don't want your steak. I don't want your van anywhere near me. No, nothing happened to me, but I swear to God, something almost did. Oh, it's a scary thought, because I don't think it was just being a kid, like you going into the basement, you're a kid. It's like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't think it was that. It just felt it was too much. When I think back in my life, there are very few moments in my life where I felt that kind of danger. And to be honest with you, I feel lucky. I feel lucky that nothing did happen, because oh my God, when you think of the creepiest, serial killer, children kidnapper type of van, when you think of in your mind, what comes to your mind, I guarantee you're thinking of the one that was parked in front of the house I had to walk by on the way to school. I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure that it would be really, really close to that van. That's the end of the first episode of Rant Off the Top. Random phrase. Where did it go? That's where it went. Thanks for watching the video.